Hi everybody, welcome and good to have you with us. Race number 4. Let's get straight into the Fairview meeting. Daryl Marie's with me and we'll talk about the race in terms of what's to come here. And let's get straight into the action of the running of the 4th race, which happens to be a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,400 metres. And I guess there would be a few in here that I would imagine have chances in a race like this.
Yes, Clyde, I've narrowed this race down to 3 runners. I think it lies between the 1, Belle of Belize, the 4, Pam's Princess, and the 7, Madam Vicky. Now, Madam Vicky, last time out in her second starts in the province, she proved very, very convincingly in that victory. She was never in doubt. She does step up in trip again, a distance she's yet to feature over. But I don't believe they're going to be running over this trip if they don't think she's capable of doing herself justice. Belle of Belize, you can see in her penultimate start when she was beaten a length and a half by Pam's Princess. She meets Pam's Princess on 3 kgs better terms. So she must be a player over here. Pam's Princess over this course in distance, she's most effective and she's got the 1 draw to boot. So despite the turnaround in weights, I think she can confirm that form. Belle of Belize occasionally strides short, so just watch her move down to the start and make up your mind thereafter.
What's your first choice, Daryl?
I'm going in order 417, Clark.
417, eh?
Yes.
Pam's Princess is a 10-1 shot. On the note, Carl Stradham, Port Elizabeth boy, well done on having that winner in the UK. Fantastic that you've broken the ice with Dylan Kuna and that the South Africans are doing so well over there. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We've got a jackpot for you here, which is Daryl's. It goes 147 by 269 by 1, 3 and 5. And then he's going to banker number 1 in the last leg of the jackpot, hoping, of course, that Silver Links pulls it off. On the turf we stay, and we move on now to race number 5. It's time for Daryl Marie and myself to have a look at what's to come here. This is a handicap over the mile. Be advised that number 5, Keep It Secret, is out. This is an early recording. We're doing this on Thursday, naturally, with it being Good Friday and holidays, etc. Access to everybody at the same time, not easy. So this is the preview. And well, everyone's telling me Blonde Act will win. That's what I'm hearing. Nino and everybody else that comes with it. Darren, I think, who else was there? Brandon Bailey said it can't lose. Just a few guys that I've spoken to. So, Mr. Marie?
Yeah, Brandon Bailey doesn't want to know.
Doesn't want to know. What do you think?
Listen, he arrived in the province rated a 67. I think he's strung 4 victories in a row. He's gone up to an 88. He just keeps defying the handicap. I thought last time out he won due to a very tactical ride. Another 3 kg penalty. It's not going to be given to him on a platter this time around, Clyde. He's going to have to work for it. You've got an unbeaten horse of Vienna Milan, Cherry Anu. Last time out, the form line hasn't really stood up. 3 horses, all 3 unplaced, and that field was quite congested at the finish. But he did give the runner up, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 9 kilograms. For a young horse who's unbeaten, it's hard to rule him out. Another horse that was very impressive last time out, Clyde, was number 6, Prince Vian. He was hopelessly out at the weights. He ran well above his rating of 81. He could only pick up that £6 penalty due to the conditions of the race. He needs to reproduce a similar effort, and he could follow up himself. So I make it more trickier than the boys you mentioned.
Okay, so you're not necessarily in the Blonde Acts corner. Let's have a look at what Daryl then in writing has put together for us. He recommends that we take another jackpot, and that Blonde Act goes in, the 6 Prince Vian goes in, and the 9 Cherry Anu goes in by 135 by the same banker as the first jackpot, and Field at the back, and that should cost you 180 Rand. Let's get on to race number 6 and discuss this now. Yeah, we got a Saint Teresa who's looks very hard to beat, one would think. 9-10 at the moment in the market on Thursday morning. 7-2 about the next best in the race being Ideal Angel, who's no slouch at the end of the day. But Saint Teresa does look, or Saint Therese, whatever you guys prefer, does look like it's going to be hard to beat. We're reminded about this information is available to you already on Twitter at Wager to Win, or on our WhatsApp group. Hope you've joined and you are being communicated with and all of that sort of stuff. Remember to always be free feel free to be in contact with us and engage. We'd love to hear from you. So, St. Teresa, hard to beat this race, or St. Therese, I'm not sure what you call it, Daryl, but the market suggests that's the case. And there are a couple of reasons, if I read some comments, as to why she's probably ready to win again.
Well, Clyde, she's unbeaten over this course and distance. She's best in at the weights. If you have a look at the best weighted column, you'll see she's a net 99. Next best weighted is a net 94. That's 2.5 kilograms. If there is one concern I have, Clyde, is in her recent start, she tends to lose interest in the early part of the race. And then she finds herself with a lot of work to do. But it isn't a big field whatsoever. So if she is languishing at the back of the field, she can certainly turn it on. Everything is in her favor. So it's hard to tip against her. If I had to back her up with one also, I'd say go lightly. I know she's out at the weights by 3.5 kilograms, but she's really unexposed over this distance. And she's found good form again. She went through a bad spell. She's now back on track. And if the favorite happens to fluff her lines, I'm going to say go lightly will be the one to pick up the pieces. So in order, 1 from 5.
So Alan Greif, one way or the other. You said Santa Teresa, unbeaten course and distance.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah,
unbeaten
well, she's unbeaten course and distance. She's only had one start of the course and distance, but she's unbeaten over the trip, 2 from 2.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
She'll be ideally track and trip suited.
That was a bit farther 2-4 last time.
Yeah, she came up for air that last 50 meters.
Okay. All right, well, it is Santa Teresa. That's the, so Santa Teresa. I call it Teresa, Santa Teresa. But anyway, here we go. This is what the guys are doing. Daryl says it's a 2-horse race. Santa Teresa or go lightly. So this may well be the best bet of the day, and our jackpots we're running in terms of our perms, etc. We're all on this horse Silver Links for Justin Snaith, and Muzi Yeni is there to ride Silver Links, who does appear to take a lot of beating in the race. It's the East Cape Oaks, just by the way, and this horse comes straight out of the Western Cape, having won a number of times there. Tried the Oaks, the Cape Oaks there, and on that occasion was beaten by a horse called Sarki. And in the field that she takes on today, I would imagine lesser of strength, quality, etc., than that of the Cape, or not the case?
Yes, Clyde. What's interesting over here is Justin Snaith scratched a few of his runners due to an African horse sickness outbreak.
Oh,
and
didn't know that.
At this stage, she's still qualified to race, and she's allowed to run. Well, they've kept her in because after this race, they have to either leave her where she is in PE, or they can move her on to KZN. So thanks to Nadine for clearing that up.
Yeah.
We're assuming that she's going on to KZN to campaign over there, and she's obviously highly thought of. So Clyde, have a look at the weights column once again. She's slung in over here about 4.5 kilograms. Her biggest rival has come out in Love is a Rose. Last time out, I don't think the race was really run to suit. I would have loved to see her push forward and lead on that occasion, because in the early parts of that race, they were basically crawling, and I certainly don't think turning into a sprint suited her. So at the weight, she's slung in over here, and she's going to prove very, very hard to beat.
Very hard to beat. Okay. So Silver Links, the one to go for. She is the first choice. She's at 9 to 10 on Thursday morning. I'm not sure what price she will start. Interesting news that Daryl just broke to me now about the African horse sickness with a few of the Snaith horses, and in this case she may well go straight to KwaZulu-Natal after this effort, if she does, of course, run. Let's see, what's the plan on our selection? It's straight up. Number 1, Silver Links.